Good Friday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to tonight's top stories, let's take a quick look outside our beautiful weather window on this Friday. Boy, how nice was it out there today. And this shot, boy, it shows it, doesn't it? Shot from our Sky-Fi Tower camera up on Wenatchee Heights. It's our cross camera, and you can see all the blue sky out there. Just a few clouds, and our temperatures got warmer than we thought they would. We'll get to that in a bit, but scattered snow showers in our forecast as we get into tomorrow, and that's where our weather will really change. I don't see a lot of accumulation, and you can tell by the map, maybe an inch for most of us, but we will see falling temperatures during the day on Saturday. Also going to deal with some windy conditions. I'm a little skeptical that Wenatchee, it shows 40 to 45 miles an hour possible. Don't think we're going to be near that, but some locations probably will, and that's going to make for some very cold wind chills because by Sunday and right through the middle part of next week, Arctic air moves in on us. We're talking highs around 20 with lows in the low teens, and we'll have more on your North Central Washington weather forecast coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the news stories we're following for you tonight. Mayor Frank Kuntz, who's helped steer the city of Wenatchee since 2012, announced last night that he will not seek a fourth term. The East Wenatchee Water District is gaining a small addition to its system thanks to the cooperation in the Douglas County PUD's hydrogen project. And chemical runoff from vehicle tires has been linked to early die-offs of Washington's Coho salmon and other fish. But first, our top story tonight, the fire that destroyed a combined cannabis farm and warehouse operation in Monitor does not appear to have been intentionally set. That's the preliminary word from the Chelan County Fire Marshal's office. The fire at the former Collins Fruit Warehouse on Monitor's Main Street broke out December 15th and consumed the structure, filling the area with thick smoke for days and at one point requiring a shelter-in-place order due to the burning cannabis materials. Fire Marshal Steve Rinaldi told NCWLIFE that although arson probably was not the cause, the fire does remain under investigation. He says a video recording from an on-site camera was recovered in the fire and turned over to an insurance company that underwrites the building. That company is still determining if any useful information can be recovered from the video. Mayor Frank Kuntz, who helped steer the city of Wenatchee since 2012, announced last night that he will not seek a fourth term. The 59-year-old mayor made the announcement official on Thursday with an email to city staff and then told the city council at its regular meeting.
You guys have all heard me talk about this off and on for the last year or so, and I think when I first started saying I wasn't going to run again, I probably didn't believe it myself, but the more I've said it, the more I believed it. So I'm announcing tonight that this will be my last year as mayor. This concludes 12 years as I get through the end of December, and I was 48 when I started this, and having two jobs when you're 48 is a little bit different than having two jobs when you're 60. And I think it's time for new leadership. It's time for someone else to hold the gavel. I tell you, it's hard emotionally and it's hard physically to do this job. It's hard. It's a tough job. Today was a hard day. You guys don't know today was a hard day? Today was a hard day. It was just a lot going on, 30 different directions, and it's time for someone else. So gonna go spend some time with a grandbaby. I'm gonna find the golf course again. So it's been a really great 12 years. I've loved it. I enjoy working with our team. We have an incredible team. Loved working with you guys, but it's time.
The mayor's last term ends December 31st. After the meeting, Kuntz told NCWLIFE that although he's leaving while the city pushes several major projects forward, he's not favoring any single one as he prepares to leave office.
People talk about the legacy. What's your legacy project? I always told everyone I don't want a legacy project. The last thing I want to do is say, oh, that was the mayor's legacy was A or B or C or D, right? I want to see them all done. I want to see Confluence Parkway done. I want to see Widener building his townhome or his apartments down here. I want to see the convention center built, right? I want to see an underpass under McKittrick. I want to see North Wenatchee Avenue property sold. Right? It's not all going to happen while I'm sitting here, right? But it's all going to happen sometime. And I don't consider myself having a legacy project, right? If someone says, hey, you did a good job, and there were people that came up to me during my 12 years and thanked me and said, hey, you did a good job, and appreciate what you did. But it's good. That makes me feel good that it was worth all the effort.
The East Wenatchee Water District is gaining a small addition to its system thanks to the cooperation in the Douglas County PUD's hydrogen project. The PUD installed extended main line at the Baker Flat site to pipe water to the hydrogen facility in case of fire. This week, the PUD board voted to transfer ownership of that new infrastructure to the Water District and provide a 2-year bond to pay for its maintenance. The piping is valued at about $61,000, for which the Water District will pay nothing. The maintenance bond covers about 1/10 of that value. Well, chemical runoff from vehicle tires has been linked to early die-offs of Washington's Coho salmon and other fish. Now, the State Department of Ecology says it's working on steps to address the contamination. The culprit is preservative called 6-PPD quinone, which suffocates coho in the streams where they spawn. One of the best practices may be soil filtration, which captures water runoff in channels where it's passed through soil and grasses to reduce the concentration of chemicals. Ecology says starting in 2024, the threat of tire contamination will inform the guidance it publishes for cities and municipalities on how to manage stormwater. Well, when we come back, Wenatchee teacher Hugo Zavala testified in front of the House Education Committee in support of House Bill 1228. Representative Keith Gaynor responded to climate change legislation passed by the local government committee. Governor Jay Inslee is planning a visit to the Wenatchee Valley next week. And the Bombardier Q400 prop aircraft took its last flight out of Pangbourne Memorial Airport yesterday. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Introducing Alpine Airman. Because every home needs a superhero to eliminate poor indoor air quality, send inefficient operating equipment packing, and cut high energy bills down to size. For heating or cooling and equipment replacement, turn to the experts and the superheroes at Carrier and Alpine Air. We offer the best deals on high-efficiency Carrier products, along with friendly, knowledgeable service and incredible savings to fit your budget.
Welcome back. In another news, Wenatchee teacher Hugo Zavala testified in front of the House Education Committee in support of House Bill 1228. The bill aims to build a multilingual and multiliterate Washington state through dual and tribal language education. In his testimony, Zavala, who is a 4th grade dual language teacher at Lewis and Clark Elementary School, describes the importance of multilingualism.
As our state and country become more diverse and more globally interdependent, there's a growing need for all of our students to become multilingual and multicultural. We have solutions that are based on research, equity, and cultural reality. Research shows that multilingualism has lifelong cognitive, academic, social, cultural, and economic benefits. Dual language programs have also been shown to have most impact on supporting our multilingual learners by capitalizing on student strengths while being responsive to the needs of developing bilingual and bicultural students. Instilling in them, like myself, the importance of their biliteracy journey. Dual language is a long-term investment, and my children, my students, and myself are living testaments of the success of Washington State bilingual education. For these reasons, we need to expand access to dual language immersion opportunities support, recruit, and retain dual language teachers like myself, and provide outreach so we can drastically close learning gaps for our multilingual learners. Simultaneously, bringing native English speakers up to par with the rest of the world by having them become multicultural and multilingual. But more importantly, we as a state and as a nation need to celebrate the power and the opportunities provided by our multilingual, multicultural, global learners like myself.
Zavala was named the 2023 Regional Teacher of the Year by the North Central Educational Service District, and he was selected as the Association of Two-Way and Dual Language Education Teacher of the Year in 2022. Representative Keith Gaynor responded to climate change legislation passed by the local government committee. House Bill 1181 adds climate change and resiliency goals to the Growth Management Act. The bill includes new requirements on cities with a population of 6,000 people or more and counties with a population of 100,000 or more to address social and environmental justice, greenhouse gas emissions, and other climate-related topics. The bill passed 4-3, and Gaynor, the lead Republican on the committee, said many local entities are challenged to meet the original GMA goals, but the legislature continues to add more requirements, making those goals extremely difficult or unattainable. Gaynor also said that legislation that reduces burden on local communities can be done while still working to meet our climate goals. Governor Jay Inslee is planning a visit to the Wenatchee Valley next week. The governor's office confirmed his travel, but details of the visit, including the date and destination, haven't yet been disclosed. Local officials said Inslee is likely to tour social service agencies in the valley. The governor's office said full itinerary will be firmed up on Monday and shared with local media. Well, the Bombardier Q400 prop aircraft took its last flight out of Pangbourne Memorial Airport yesterday. Alaska Airlines announced in March that it planned to shift regional flights to the Embraer 175 twin jet. Unlike the Q400, the E-175 offers first class and business class seating. The Q400 previously flew in and out of Pangbourne, Pullman, Walla Walla, and Yakima 4 times daily. At the time of the E-175 transition announcement, Alaska operated 32 turboprop Q400 aircraft. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
I had a seizure in the middle of the night, and they rushed me to the hospital and decided to induce labor to try to get the baby out. The outpouring of love and support I got from Confluence Health. My coworkers coming to the ICU to be with me. For me, it's the work family. It's just incredible to have support no matter what I'm going through in my personal life, my own health.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. In tonight's features story, the Wenatchee City Council heard from planners last night on the remodeling of the downtown convention center. Managers of the building say it needs a facelift, plus more versatile interior spaces for meetings, parties, and other events. The cost estimate hovers around $12 million to add more than 13,000 square feet of usable space. Consultants say they'll continue to refine the design, looking at 2 different options over the next 3 months.
So on the upper floor, this is at the Wenatchee Avenue level. This shows the addition with the pre-function space, the breakout space that's around 4,200 square feet. You'll notice that we worked a lot with where an elevator would go so that we can really maximize its use and its ability to work for both the convention center as well as the Performing Arts Center. Currently, the Performing Arts Center has to go pretty deep within the space to utilize the elevator. So this position really allows them to circulate up and down on either side of the the space. So this kind of shows the overall view. This is an aerial view from Wenatchee Avenue, showing how the plaza is impacted. Really, the strength that it brings, that kind of touches on one of the weaknesses found in the study, is really being able to create a visibility to Wenatchee Avenue from Wenatchee Avenue, bringing a presence within the urban, downtown district.
I've been lucky enough to go to a lot of events at the convention center, especially with what my wife Jenny does, and I can totally see how the reconfiguring of the rooms down there would make a big difference. So I'm for moving forward.
If this is something we do, maybe in a year or two from now, we need a committee to see what the future is for the following 10 years. And I think we lack that thinking or thought process to look at that future.
I appreciate the architects taking this assessment that is semi-old and addressing every single issue and coming up with a plan that satisfies all of those things. And if it wasn't satisfying those things, then I wouldn't support it. But it is answering those questions, satisfying the needs that we have been talking about for a long time. And we have the money and the plan to move forward. So I'm in full support of option A and B.
Time now for a look at your north central Washington weather forecast. Wasn't it a beauty today? 48 degrees. That was way above where we thought we'd be today. We thought about 43 or so, but no complaints there. That's 12 degrees above where we should be for this time of year at 36, 54 our record, and that was set in 1962. We started off mild, and that was about 12:45. We went from 32 all the way up to 40 by about 1:30 this morning, and it just kept warming up. 25 was our normal low, and 5 below zero our record in 1969. Sunrise 7:33, and the sun set just before news time at 4:55. Quick look at our temperatures tomorrow. You're going to see about a 10 to 15 degree drop in temperatures. Most of us on this map anywhere between 30 and 33 degrees. The cool spot tomorrow, Lake Wenatchee at 25. Tonight we can expect mostly cloudy skies. There is just a small area of low pressure building off our coast. That'll bring us some cloudiness tonight. Low temperatures in the upper 20s. Probably see a bit of light rain early hours in our Saturday morning time frame. Cloudy skies for Saturday. There's that storm system, a 40% chance of snow, and colder. We're going to see highs on Saturday, as we mentioned, only in those low 30s. Look at this cold air dipping down from Canada. It's called an Alberta Clipper. It's coming out of Canada, and that's going to make for much colder weather as we get into Sunday. Sunny skies, but it's not going to matter much. That cold air just racing in from the northeast. High temperatures only around 20 degrees. And we're not going to change much, folks, through the first part of early next week. Mostly sunny, unseasonably cold on Monday. Highs only in the very low 20s. The temperatures, cold temperatures all the way down in the Arizona, Phoenix area. Tuesday, partly cloudy. Going to stay cold out there. We'll see high temperatures a little better into the mid-20s for Tuesday, and then we start to moderate just a little bit as we get into Wednesday and Thursday. Mostly cloudy skies for Wednesday. Going to stay on the cold side, mid, maybe upper 20s for highs on Wednesday, and then you can see an area of low pressure. It's going to scour that cold air out of our state. We're going to warm up a little bit for Thursday with high temperatures at the end of our forecast, right around 30 degrees. Let's take a look now at your 7-day forecast brought to you by Apple Valley Honda. 28 the low tonight, 31 tomorrow, our really only chance for precip, and it's not that big of chance. And then look at these temperatures. 21 Sunday, we'll see 23 on Monday before we slowly warm up all the way to 30 degrees by the time we get you to Thursday. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Hello, television family. Grab your cup of coffee each weekday morning and join me. I'm Dan Kuntz, the host of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It's Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. It's everything you need to start your day. We're live and we're local at 7 a.m. every weekday on the NCWLIFE channel.
And now it's a sports update.
on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Finally Friday. Wrestling was on the docket last night here on the NCWLIFE channel as Eastmont hosted Wenatchee in the final regular season match of the year. Wenatchee, thanks to 3 pins and 3 forfeits by Eastmont, would get the victory 51-23. I had the call Matt side here on the NCWLIFE channel.
Going for that Nelson. He's got it with 20 seconds. That's a long time for Cervantes to try to hang on. And he gets the pin. Vivanco trying to adjust. Will wrap his left arm around the head, hold on to the other arm, and then lean back and try to get his both shoulders pinned down to the mat here to give his team 6 points. And he does. Trying to look at a freestyle move using his legs to get the cradle. Looking for the pin here is Trenton Miller. How about this move? And Nygaard, I believe if he scissors his feet together, he should be able to get his legs free. I'm thinking. But a pin. Binner has near fall points, looking for a pin, and he got it. Burdan looking for the armbar with 53 seconds. And Burdan looking for more tip points, and he will get them here, and he might get a pin. Kalunga battling against a very powerful man on top of him right now, and a pin. Flugie, meanwhile, has that arm barred up again. Going to go for a pin early here in the second round. Pulls the wrestler back. Housden now staring at the lights. Flugie reverses it. Now arching, trying to stay chest to chest, and gets the pin. Incredible here tonight at Eastmont High School. Now again, the head for Schrader, give it up to Whitley. 2-point reversal and near fall points. He's got the head and arm good here. He's got 24 seconds, but needs to watch his weight. And he's taken back over. 3-point near fall, 2-point reversal. Now near fall points going to come for Schrader. Looking for the pin with 13 seconds left in the match. Eastmont fans on their feet. Schrader will get 3-point near fall. Check the score. It's 9-7. He's got the leg in, but now watch out. He could get shucked by. And now reaching for the head. He's got the leg. Look out. And he tips him over towards his back. 46 seconds left. 2-point reversal. And near fall points. Whitley trying to come from behind 2 weeks in a row. He trails at 16-11, but he's got near fall points coming. 2 so far. 2-point near fall. Now we'll cover. It's 16-13 with 25 seconds left. He's got the half in, but doesn't have him broken down. 18 seconds remaining. Schrader led it until just moments ago. He still leads it by 3. But Whitley trying to do all he can with 5 seconds left in the round. In the match. In the season here in the regular season. That's it. 16-13. Jake Schrader with the win over Ryder Whitley. What a battle of freshmen that are going to be fantastic down the road for both of these clubs.
Fun one to call last night. Wenatchee finishes the regular season 5-1 with that win last night. Also, it was Othello stomping Ephrata 66-6. Omak swept both its matches in a double duel at home, topping Kashmir 50-24 and Cascade 58-21. Cascade beat Chelan 57-30, while Kashmir came back to beat Chelan 54-12. We'll have more high school basketball from Eastmont coming up tonight. Wildcats hosting the Panthers doubleheader. Girls at 5:45. We'll have that streaming on our Facebook page. The boys tip at 7:30, both on Facebook and TV. Girls game will be on TV later at 10:30. Other girls action last night. Zilla topped Kashmir 61-52. Quincy beat Liberty Bell 51-41. Other winners included Highland over Oroville, Okanagan mauled Manson, Tonasket topped Bridgeport, Pateras beat Wilson Creek, Cascade Christian no match for Auburn Adventist. On the Les Schwab Prep boys basketball scoreboard, Zilla topped Chelan by 10, Highland edged Oroville by 1, Okanagan doubled up Manson, Tonasket beat Bridgeport 92-58, Pateras was 6 better than Wilson Creek, Livingstone Adventist beat Cascade Christian 234. The busy schedule for small schools it started earlier. Western Washington University, Cascade Christian facing Columbia Adventist. This is girls play. Terrace visiting Omak tonight, while Entiat hosts Riverside Christian. At 6, Chelan at Royal. Oroville hosts Brewster. Soap Lake visits Moses Lake Christian. Liberty Bell welcomes Lake Roosevelt. And Waterville Mansfield plays at Wilbur Creston. Turning to the boys' schedule for tonight for the small schools, Cascade Christian earlier took on Upper Columbia. That was this morning at Western Washington University. Later tonight, it's Riverside Christian at Entiat. Cascade visits Omak. Oroville hosts Brewster. Soap Lake's at Moses Lake Christian. Liberty Bell takes on Lake Roosevelt. And Waterville Mansfield plays at Wilbur Creston. All right, we'll go to the small schools for tomorrow before we look at the big schools. Girls play tomorrow. Entiat hosts Cascade at 1:30. Okanagan's at Cashmere at 3. Quincy visits Lakeside 9 Mile Falls at 4:30, while Oroville is at Curlew. The boys scheduled for tomorrow: Entiat's hosting Thorpe at 3, Okanagan's at Cashmere at 4:30. Quincy north of Spokane at Lakeside 9 Mile Falls. Cascade Christian finishes its tournament at Western Washington University against Milo Adventist. That's tomorrow night at 8:30. All right, now on to the bigger schools. First, girls, Eastmont hosting Wenatchee. As we mentioned, we'll have that live 5:45. Moses Lake hosts Sunnyside at the same time, while Ephrata is visiting Ellensburg at 6 o'clock. Tomorrow, Ephrata is back home against Othello at 4. 4:45 games, Eastmont at Sunnyside, Davis at Wenatchee, and Moses Lake on the road at Eisenhower. We'll have the Eastmont and Wenatchee boys tonight at 7:30. Same time for Sunnyside at Moses Lake and Ephrata at Ellensburg. Tomorrow, it's Othello at Ephrata at 5:30. The 6:30 games have Eastmont at Sunnyside, Wenatchee hosting Davis, and Moses Lake visits Eisenhower. Northwest schools went 2 for 3 in men's college basketball last night. Eastern Washington took care of Idaho State 81-68. Washington State was close, not quite, against number 6 Arizona, falling in that one. Washington took Arizona State to overtime before getting the 3-point win. Men will play again tomorrow. Eastern hosting Weber State at 2. Washington hosts 6th-ranked Arizona at 2:30 on Fox. 14th-ranked Gonzaga is at Portland tomorrow afternoon at 4. Washington State hosts Arizona State at 5 on ESPNU. Haley Van Lith struggled again at women's college basketball, had just 8 points. Louisville fell on the road at Wake Forest. Eastern beat Idaho State. Gonzaga defended the home court, downing Loyola Marymount by 11. On the schedule for tonight for the women, Washington State visits Arizona State at 5. Huskies face 19th-ranked Arizona at 6. Tomorrow, Eastern plays at Weber State at noon. Gonzaga hosts Pepperdine at 2. Then on Sunday, it's WSU at Arizona at 11. Washington visits Arizona State. Seattle Kraken finished the first half of the NHL season with a couple of home games this weekend. Seattle welcomes the Calgary Flames tonight at 7 at Climate Pledge Arena. They'll face the Columbus Blue Jackets tomorrow at 7. You can watch all the action on Root Sports Northwest. Also, Wenatchee Wild home on the ice at the Town Toyota Center tonight and tomorrow. They'll play the Vernon Vipers 7:05 tonight, 6:05 tomorrow. Get your tickets at WenatcheeWildHockey.com. Finally, NFL playoffs reach the semifinals on Sunday. The NFC Championship will be in Philadelphia, where the Eagles host the San Francisco 49ers. Kickoff set for noon on Fox. Later, Cincinnati at Kansas City for the AFC title. That kicks off at 3:30 on CBS. Have a safe and sane weekend. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Eric. And now let's turn it over to Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up Monday morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thanks, Grant. I hope everybody has a fantabulous weekend. We'll get you going again on Monday. Got a great interview. Dr. Kim Skelding is a cardiologist at Confluence Health, because as we get out of January and go into February, February is National Heart Health Month. She's going to talk about the old ticker and what you can do to keep it ticking away as long as possible. Dr. Skelding will be my guest. We'll have the weekend wrap up in news and sports, and as Grant has already mentioned, that pretty cold weather forecast too. Get your Monday going live and local with Wake Up Wenatchee Valley right here, live, Studio 6, Monday morning. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Dan. And that'll do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks so much for being with us, and have a great night.